Yeah, it does.
I hate puppies.
It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Happy 2020. Hope your year is off to a good start.
Why do I feel like there's going to be a million, 2020 vision memes and references, all year?
Oh, it's got to be coming.
Yeah.
It's got to be coming. There's all I've been seeing is all of the memes lately where everybody's like, anxiety, get rid of it. Depression, be gone. Bad thoughts, boom. Anger, bad relationships. Everybody is fired up that they're going to be getting rid of all of the negativity in their life.
I'm trying.
That's going to last till what? The day this comes out?
I love how there's so many this time every year is the 2019 kick my ass, looking so forward to 2020. I'm like, that's every year. I see you put that out every year.
But what did you change?
Yeah, what changed? Yeah.
I want to see somebody at the end of a year put one out and be like, I did it, guys.
Yeah.
I literally didn't have a negative thought.
Yeah.
I didn't have a bad relationship. I didn't get in a fight. I had no anxiety. In fact, I crushed it.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, but it's like,
then you didn't live.
isn't that the truth? You're not learning if something doesn't go wrong.
Yeah.
This is the only time you grow.
Growth is through pain.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that is the truth. If you have a perfect life all the time, you're a sack of shit.
Yeah.
You don't have any intestinal
You're not putting
fortitude.
yourself out there.
Yeah, you're not trying anything. So
we're killing it then.
oh yeah,
Gold stars across the board.
that's a fact. I tell you, I was just out here ranting and raving that just not in a good mood, guys.
Yeah.
Just not doing great. Just kind of annoyed.
That's life.
But that's 2019.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. It'll all change. Well, it has changed. It's 2020 now.
I mean, why can't we go back?
You're going to have 2020 vision this year.
I'm gonna be perfect. I'm gonna get rid of all the negativity.
That's right.
Which involves everybody around me stop being a fucking dick. Just see things the way I see them, and this will be the best year.
As
ever.
Corolla says, don't do your best, do my best.
I like that. I really like that.
Your best isn't good enough. I'm always having to correct you. Do my best.
Do my best. That is my new. That is going to be my new way of looking.
Fix
at
your
life.
shit.
Yeah, fix your shit. I'm already awesome.
Yeah.
I fixed it in 2017.
That's
I don't
right.
know if you remember my post,
Thanks
but
to-
I was going to be awesome.
Thanks to all those memes.
Yes.
First rule of 2020: never talk about 2019.
Yeah, it's like the Fight Club year. It's gone. It's over.
Did
not
memes
talked about.
replace those motivational posters to hang in there?
Now you can still get them.
Obviously, but I feel like the memes are so much better.
Well, because you can make a million of them. It
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
one schmuck with a cat. I don't know, hang in there,
That schmuck's on a yacht right now,
dude. Isn't
just off that
the truth?
poster. You know he is.
That hang in there one is.
You
It's
say
like-
that, and everybody knows what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
everybody knows what I'm talking about. That dude crushed. You know what this is the year of for me? I don't know if you guys noticed these. I'm going to back up. You guys tell me if you notice anything about my pants.
Oh shit! Here we go.
You got some Adidas Trek pants or something on.
Look at that.
They're super young.
Oh, because they got the
They're all
clinch.
tight at the
yeah,
bottom?
they
Yeah.
got the Velcro, not the Velcro, the
You went-
elastic at the bottom.
You went retro 20 years ago.
I feel very Bieber.
They are tight rolled constantly,
Yes. My wife.
forever tight rolled.
My wife gave me these, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I'm never gonna wear these. They say Adidas on the back, all stupid. It may as well say Juicy across my ass. You know,
The only thing you're missing is a pair of Diodors
oh,
for
so
the shoes.
I agree. And they're super tight. So it's a very young look for
Yeah.
me, and I'm completely uncomfortable. And like I said, I hate that it says Juicy on my ass.
But isn't it better than walking all over the bottom of your sweatpants?
dude, I love them. Yeah. It's horrible. I've been wearing these young ass things all day. Now I was wearing them with a pair of Sanooks earlier, which are those stupid looking.
Yeah, beach shoes,
Yeah.
slides.
Yeah, they're the
Slides.
worst. They're the widest, ugliest shoe you can get, but
Yeah.
they're so comfy
They
and
are.
they don't smell. You don't have to wear socks; they just won't smell. And so I wear them all the time. Well, today I went out in public in these tight rolled sweatpants
Nice.
and those damn Sanooks. and I saw myself in a mirror in the bathroom, and I was like,
strutting around.
"Oh my God, I look homeless."
Parents are hiding their children as they walk
Yeah.
through the aisles.
Yeah, I was longing for the mustache in that moment. I was
Yeah.
like, if I just had a mustache,
That's all you were missing.
I would look the worst. But I looked bad. But for some reason, I kind of like that they're not
Yeah.
hanging around my feet. And I don't think the look is me, but I'm like,
Well, there's a company
Good with
now I've heard about them that make like basically sweatpants that have an interior drawstring, but they feel like sweats, but they look like casual slacks, and allegedly they're like the new cool shit to wear.
and you can wear them at work.
Yeah, you can wear them at work like you
So
wouldn't
it's
know.
feeling like sweatpants on the inside,
Yeah,
but
it's
completely
got like
different on the outside.
it looks. You know how all your pants have that zipper flap in the front? It's got a fake one of those, so it kind of looks like a pair of
Interesting.
pants.
just
I
getting
forget the name
lazier
of
and
them.
lazier.
Yes,
I'm going to work.
It's happening, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm noticing that it was 2 years ago that I got my first pair of sweatpants in adulthood. I wore sweatpants as a kid, and then somewhere in high school I just stopped wearing sweatpants. Like so, when I went to college, I never had sweats.
I've never owned sweats. I have like 10 pairs of, I call them house pants, but usually they're like
That's
a
more like a
plaid,
lounge pant.
yeah, like a lounge pants. I wear them around the house, and I will stroll around the neighborhood in them. But like,
I've
I don't
seen you out
like,
and about in those.
I don't like going out in public with them.
I don't mind. I've got a couple pair, but they're the 6-inch zipper on the outside of the ankle, coming up from the bottom. They're loose. I mean, I had those forever playing basketball, and then
Yeah, that's like
I thought you had the
old
buttons all the way down, so you just pull them off and the.
that's for my special ladies.
That son of a bitch does have a pair of those because I've seen him do that on a basketball court.
That's awesome.
I've seen him rip his shit off in intramurals in college.
Hell yeah.
So he can't say he doesn't
Yeah.
own them because I've seen him come off and he has flair. Let me tell you,
That-
you
Yeah,
got
he does.
flair.
That was with
You
the,
know he practices that at home in front of the mirror.
Yeah, that was the one year I think I played. I played the entire intramural season in the Dream Team.
The dream team stuff. Yeah.
Ely let me wear. Ely had the shorts and I had the tank top that was matching
Nice.
Dream Team.
And so he would rip his pants off and he'd have the dream team outfit on, which was already old in college.
Yeah.
That was 92.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
98.
we weren't in college in 92, dude.
It was 98.
He's like a decade old, and he's rocking them. He's like, I'm Mullen.
He was
Yes,
on
you
that
are.
team?
Yeah, get on the bench, Mullen.
Yeah, I specifically would do my foul shots with the bank shot. I did it on purpose that year. Just
sure
for fun.
you did.
That's how good you were?
Well, I didn't say I was the best guy on the team. We won intramurals. We won basketball, but I did that for fun.
I'm glad you were having fun, Stu.
And you look good doing it.
I never went to a game.
I'm not
For
looking
fun.
I'm not looking forward to 2020. I'm looking back.
Yeah, this is the year of looking back with clear vision.
Yes.
2020 vision.
It is crazy that it is 2020 now, and it does not feel long ago. It was the 1999 holy hell the world's ending hype, and like
Yeah, there's not
blink,
enough- Yeah.
20 years later, guess what? The world's still going. Like
Still very much so.
Yeah.
Just rolling along.
that
Except-
whole hype really was nothing. The year up to it was insane, and then like
the Y2K.
yeah,
bug.
yeah.
There's not enough zeros.
It's literally what they said. I was like, boy, that seems like an easy fix. We put some RAM in that thing?
Yeah.
I mean, like, is that extra zero really going to screw this up? Sure enough, it did diddly
Nothing.
squat.
Yeah.
Like, nothing happened.
So are you guys big into New Year's resolutions?
No.
I don't do a lot of New Year's resolutions, mostly because I spend all of New Year's Eve imbibing.
Yes.
So I don't know how you can. I mean, I guess I make a lot of New Year's resolutions throughout the year.
Yeah.
You know, like I go, you know what? I'm fat. Or, you know what? I got to stop doing X. Or maybe
Yeah.
I should clean my room more often. So, like, those things just happen. I never really set one up on the new year.
Yeah, anytime I try to do anything like that, the January 1st date never sticks. It just is some random date. Like, it'll be like March 4th, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to start doing whatever I need to do now.
You
like,
know how I know someone's not going to quit smoking? When they do it on New Year's.
yeah.
I've
Exactly.
never seen anybody
Or
quit
lose a ton of
smoking
weight.
on New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh, every schmuck shows up at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they make their entire budget in the first 3 months of the
Oh,
gym,
yeah.
like January through March.
So, Stu, you brought it up. Do you have some? Are you doing something this year? Are you making a conscious effort to change something about your life?
To be honest with you, with the last 3 months being kind of crazy, I'm just trying to calm down and eat a little better. That's about it. I mean, between eating and being more conscious of just what I'm putting in my body, but I can't say that I won't stop drinking.
Well, no, that's not to do anything rash. It's just a new year.
Now, I've never really. I agree with you on the whole not making it just for the new year. I mean, things pop up and you decide, okay, I'm gonna make a start. Well, it could be August 6th. It could be March, whatever. It's if you think you're going to do it and stick to it. And
the new year does kind of prod you into it. Like I said, I was going to be a better husband and father. Let's work on that a little more.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's New Year. It's the whole.
Yeah.
If you do it, 30 days, 3 times a day, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
You just need
Try that.
I had that
Is
habit.
that how I became a drunk?
Yeah, that's about right. That's why I never left my room as a teenager. I was like, if I do this 3 times a day, I can make it a habit. Oh, good job, young Brendan. It stuck.
Still crushing.
Yeah. I turned over that leaf in the mid-90s.
He is not a quitter.
No, still going strong. That's brutal.
So
I think you have to renew every month. If
Yeah.
you're gonna have a commitment like that, you got to remind yourself at the beginning of every month. Like, it's like paying a bill.
So can I go off on a quick little note about working out in the gym in the New Year's? That place Orange Theory.
you let me
If you don't show up, they fine you.
They fine you.
Yeah, so you're paying for a gym membership,
That's genius.
and you schedule your classes or whatever you're going to do, and when you don't show up, they bill you. They fine you for
that's a
not
motivation.
following
I mean,
through.
that's what I always hear about getting a personal trainer. Like people don't want to pay the $100 or whatever a month or whatever a personal trainer costs.
That's just
but
funny.
It's what gets you to go.
accountability.
But most
still.
gyms
Don't want you to
just
go.
quietly keep billing you. The last thing they would do is bring
Oh,
it up.
yeah.
That's wild. They bring it up.
and it's not cheap. We're talking over $100 a
You know
month
why,
plus
though?
but it's a
My understanding with Orange Theory is that it's so hard to get into a class that
Yeah.
you really are taking a spot from somebody, and
That
they
makes
want,
sense.
They want those classes to be packed and
They don't want to
full of
have full
motivation.
class. Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think.
they've created a supply and demand
Yeah.
by limiting.
And then you start finding people. Maybe that's totally foreign though to me. Like that's wild.
Sorry,
No.
Tori, didn't mean to cut you off.
Let's see a gym find me just once.
Yeah.
This was I'd be like never coming back.
Yeah.
It's all I needed to be pushed off the cliff.
Hey,
I'm glad they don't run suicide prevention hotlines. You know what I mean?
You're like-
It's fucking worse.
you already found me $8 a month, and I don't show up. Let's just call it even.
Yeah, that is wild. Try harder, suicide.
Yeah.
No, don't. Like what? These people are weird. Troy, you were saying something.
Well, I was just going to say, I wanted to bring up, once again, I listened back to the Holiday Drink Challenge. I wanted to thank everyone who came
episode.
out. Hilarious episode. And thank the guys again for taking time out, coming out here, buying the drinks. It's a huge headache. We know we've been a part of it. It's
For
not
years.
easy. And you're putting yourself out there.
They brought their A
And
game.
They did. They
and
really
Alexis
did.
was great too.
Alexis was hilarious. I think we should get her back again. The guys are always great, so it was a nice addition having her. But so I was hanging out. I have a little intel on it. I was
on the drink challenge.
on the drink challenge.
Okay.
So I was hanging out over at Joe the Chef's place. I guess it was the next night because we did it on a Thursday. He had his holiday ugly sweater party the next day, and we were telling the other guys in the neighborhood the stories, and we were talking to one of the guys and a couple of guys, and they had a theory, and it makes sense. And I'm actually surprised Joe the Chef didn't pick up on it. So we all hinted on the urine smell and the viscosity of the
Well, his drink smelled like piss.
yeah,
And
got chunky.
was chunky. Yeah, it was. It was a foul drink. Yet one. It was
Yeah.
very odd.
So in listening back, he talked about what he had added to it, and he said he added some lime juice to the coconut mix, and we got to talking
We
at
put
his
the lime
party.
with the coconut.
Yeah. Well, that curdled it up. That's where
Because of the acid.
yeah.
Ah.
Yep.
Ah.
So we basically he made a cement mixer unintentionally, and I think that's what threw his winning drink. Actually, still winning, kind of weird, but yeah, I thought that was an interesting theory. What do you think?
No, I think that actually makes perfect
Adds
sense.
up, doesn't it?
But so, do you think that the horrible stink on that was because of the chemical reaction of
I would
the
I
curdling?
would assume so because none of those things have a bad smell.
Well, sometimes
Lime and
coconut
coconut milk.
juice can, or coconut milk. Like It can.
Okay.
So
I don't drink a lot of it. So I
just
don't know.
gave it to that. I was like, it must be a coconut milk thing. But
And then listening back, one of you guys brought up how Lee's over ice would have been really good, and I thinking back to it, I think that would have been right. I think he kind of did himself a disservice.
Well, he didn't. We did. He made the drinks when we thought we were ready to go, and then they were sitting for a second, and then he added an ice cube. But if those things would have been
well, timing is numbers,
Yeah.
so it's not surprising the abacus fucked that up.
No, but you're right. I mean, I was just looking it up. It's gonna curdle.
Yeah.
The acidity is gonna make the coconut curdle.
I had to listen to.
Well, how's that whole song work then? That you just referenced. That
the
everybody
lime
knows.
and the coconut
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
I've always thought the song sucked. So,
But coconut, I'm assuming coconut
But
water is
I
different than coconut milk.
I thought that song was about actually using the coconut as the glass.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
So they're just putting the drink in it. So
yeah.
I guess it doesn't curdle. Yeah, that episode was weird for me because I had a couple things that I needed to actually go back and like edit out. And
What'd you have to edit out? Or I guess you can't talk about it since you edited it out.
that's
Oh, I know what you're referencing. Yeah.
So I was asked to remove a couple, literally like just one word. Names were used that shouldn't have been.
I didn't pick
used.
up on it.
Yeah.
But
So I went in and had to actually like remove these things, and I haven't ever had to do that with the new software and all the new stuff we have.
How'd that
you
go?
don't get to just remove it once. I found out you have to remove it from like every track because it bleeds over into all the other mics.
Oh.
And so I was editing these things like 5-6 times each time. I had to find it in.
That sucks.
A lot
dude.
of effort.
But so I listened to certain parts of that podcast over and over and over. And there were times where like the joke was funny the first time I heard it. But like by the 15th time, I'm like, Joe, shut up. Like, you're killing me.
I could tell, too, a lot of jokes got stepped on because so many people were talking.
You have too many people in the
Yeah,
room.
that was hard. That was hard. Crosstalk.
It's far too difficult to pull that off. But it creates a certain amount of energy that you don't get. That was the other thing. I was listening to just like at one point I was just listening to Ely.
Yeah.
Without anyone else. So there'd be like long pauses and then like a statement and then like that's a really weird way
That
to
is
listen to a
probably
podcast.
weird.
But one thing I learned about Stu while doing that with his is you'll hear Stu do this a lot. I went I was gonna
getting stepped on.
so Stu, apologies. I didn't realize how frustrating this podcast was for you till I really listened to just you. You're exasperated a lot.
I think he gets stepped on a lot as I step on him.
We're waiting for you to speak.
I was doing that. No, I mean it's again.
And then I was
rookie. Yeah. Damn it.
No, go ahead, Stu. I'm sorry.
That's what happens when you have a rookie on a podcast. I mean, I got a lot to say, and especially the drink challenge night. I was all in.
Yeah. But you were having a hard time because there's so many people
Yeah.
that you were really trying to be good about pulling back to not step on people.
They were
Well, that was
passing
the-
the mic around and all that stuff.
That was one of the things I told the abacus, like from the get go, about 15, 20 minutes into it. I was like, we're all over each other.
Yeah.
And I said that to him in the
But you could hear you really, really actively trying to not be the one to step on people. So if you just listen to your track, though, it is a lot of – that reminds me – I had a money.
Did you have to edit me? Did I mess up? Did I say anything
No.
I shouldn't? Okay.
No, it was literally
Oh,
somebody asked me to take care of something. I was like, yeah, gladly.
You're perfect.
No. I think I know what he was talking about, and I think I remember when it happened. My spidey sense tingled. And I was like, "That's usually not talked about."
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just went back and just kind of, in fact, there was one that I did that I wanted to remove. And
Yeah.
by the time of editing so many people, I was like, mine's fine. just let it go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time for this. It was an exhausting edit. And it probably didn't help that I didn't realize that episode came out a day late.
Yes, I noticed that, and I was like, I knew you were busy, so I wasn't gonna like hit you up because
Bro, I
know
didn't
you-
even know.
Oh, really?
I was like, well, I want it to come out on time.
Did you get hit up by some of the? I know some of our listeners hit you up on
This time,
Thursday.
no. So that's the thing.
They were busy.
Weren't you on the road?
I was on the road all week,
Yeah.
and so I was gone all week. And
But you
then,
were off
like,
Friday. Oh, but then it came out the next week. That's right. But it was Christmas the Wednesday, So
it was but I was literally on the road all week up until that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was so twisting in the wind with like what days were what, and then like,
dude, I've been off now for a week. In Friday, this is a Monday. I've been off for 7, 8, 9 days. Like I'm all backwards.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what
day, and I'm all out of whack.
I didn't know what was going on, and then so here I was on a Thursday night editing the thing, and I'm thinking to myself, even if I don't finish it, it's fine. I can just do it tomorrow. I'll release it on a Friday. And then I was going to like schedule, and I was like, why can't I pick Thursday? And I'm like, bro, it's Thursday. I was like, holy crap. Like I had completely lost all concept of time.
I was just talking to somebody today that for some reason, I guess it may be because of the whole Christmas being on a Wednesday, for the last 2 weeks and even this coming week with New Year's, there's no routine.
New Year's already happened.
This new year with the new, but there's no, like, people are working, people are not working. Nobody's.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are off. Maybe you're lucky for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But because it's in the middle of the week, most people.
People
like
are working
off
Monday.
schedules.
And my wife's been working.
It's like,
it's crazy.
This Thursday is the greatest Monday ever.
Here's something interesting though that did happen during this whole month. I don't know what it was, but we had like over 1,000 more downloads than normal.
Really?
Yeah. Like
that's awesome.
Like if I look at our average over the last like 6 months, it was over 1,000 up from the average, and I was like, "Geez, that's crazy."
More time, more exposure, more people.
I don't know exactly what it is, but like we had a boatload
That's
of
awesome.
downloads. So if there's new listeners out there that have just tuned in
Welcome.
over the last month, we're glad to have you on board.
Hit us up.
I certainly appreciate it. Yeah,
We like
let
the
it be
interaction.
known. Reach out to us on our Facebook page. You can DM us there or put something on the page. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, that's a great thing. You can always reach out to us. Probably the easiest way, because we literally review it before every episode starts, is the Gmail account, inside the Pallet House at gmail.com. That is the best way if you have a topic you want us to talk about.
Very high batting average if you send us a topic.
Yes.
Yeah, to that.
Yeah.
Like everything else, like we check in time, but that gets checked literally right before the episode starts, and we go through like what people have sent or what we've.
I was going to say, behind the curtain, as we go throughout our week, if we have something pop up, if we see an article, we send it to ourselves. Even if it's not an article, it'll be a 2-word email, and it'll just spark the.
Yeah, Troy's naked on a balcony. Boom.
Boom.
Perfect.
Eject.
We'll talk about it.
Also known as Tuesdays.
Yeah. But like those things happen. So apparently there was a lot of new listeners, or everyone's had all this time off and they're going back and like binging episodes.
I do run into a lot of
Maybe.
people. Stu and I went and grabbed a beer before we came here, and I ran into some neighbors, and one of them was like, "Don't drink too much before the podcast. Last time I listened, you were drunk." And I was like, "Oh, did you listen to the drunk episode?" He's like, "No, this was." He would like reference a real old one. I was like, "Oh, okay, you're like going back." Like,
speaking of this past year, I think that is the episode that probably got more chatter from the audience. Was your drunk ass episode?
that was pretty good.
You were having a good time that night.
I
Well,
was.
it's out of the norm, and it's going to get a lot more. I mean, it
That's
was
the
great.
thing, yeah.
I listened to it, but
Well, Brendan knows me really well. We spend a lot of time together, and Brendan will tell you, like, that was pure luck that it ended up like that, because I'm either haven't had enough or I've had too much, and that was a sweet spot. So that
You were
was
just
one of those
fired
like,
up at the world, and I was like, "This is great."
if we tried to recreate that, it could get ugly. I think is my point.
I tend to agree. It's like, but that episode pulled more chatter from the audience than any other episode all year. And I don't even think it was the best episode. I just think that it was such a twist. Like, people were like,
you
"Oh
were
my
determined."
gosh."
He was determined.
I'm determined to punch you in the mouth for that fart.
Sorry,
Dude, what the are you dealing with that?
I'm fighting through it. So,
Dude, sorry. I should pause.
well, I had also you had put it on me like you were like, it's gonna be on you. So I like felt the need to like step my game up.
It was a good one. It was a good episode.
We had a lot of good episodes.
I thought so. I thought this past year we had some really funny moments for sure. There was one that jumps out to me was when I got caught carrying what appeared to be a bomb through an elementary school.
Oh, yeah, God.
That you bought at the elementary school, right?
Yeah, they were selling candles
Makeshift bombs.
with wicks on them, and I bought 4, which apparently was the wrong amount of candles, and it looked like a cartoon bomb.
You know where you went wrong? Electrical taping to your waist. That's where you went wrong. You should have just carried them out in your hands.
For those that didn't get a chance to hear
He just
that
needs
episode,
to carry more.
Yeah.
I was literally walking through the elementary school holding
What
4
was the name of
candles
it?
wrapped together, probably candle bombs or something like that. And I was walking along, and a little kid in a single file line out of his classroom yelled, "He's got a bomb!" And I absolutely panicked. Yeah, and if you look at the Candle Bombs episode, I took a picture of the 4 candles.
Yeah.
And it looks like a cartoon bomb that Wile E. Coyote would drop on the Roadrunner.
It's definitely TNT.
It
The
was
only thing that would have been better if they were red.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're like a yellow waxy color, but if they were red,
You wouldn't have gotten the benefit of the doubt.
You
You
got
would have just
tackled.
been straight to jail.
So I also really enjoyed. I think probably most fun I had. I think Troy's yours was probably the drunk episode for most fun you had.
yeah,
I had a ton of fun when we were down in Folly Beach, and I sat down
because I wasn't there.
but we had Chris Kemp, he's a hell of an artist down
Yeah.
there. We had Liam Becker, who does all these different CBD candles and things, and it just phenomenal. And obviously, Sean Holmes from Nectar Sunglasses was there, and it was just such a good time because those guys didn't know what to expect, and they were like, what are we getting into here?
Yeah.
What's happening? And after a while, I think we all just hit our vibe, and we were having a blast. And I like when I'm out of my comfort zone, because I certainly was, because I was like, I'm sitting across from Chris Kemp in particular, and I'm like, I'm a big fan of this guy's stuff. Like, I'm not nervous about Sean because he and I hang out all the time. And for you new listeners, if you drop ITPH in the coupon code at Nectar Sunglasses, you get 30% off. It's a tremendous deal. So,
And to cut you off while we're on the topic, buy some of those glasses. They're the best you'll ever get for the money, and they do sweet deals that top that 30% around.
yeah.
My wife bought me the blue light sunglasses for Christmas from Nectar on the 50% off day that they had right around Black Friday. I mean, it's crazy the
And it
deals
topped
they
the
throw
30
at you.
on top of it.
No.
Yeah,
Just
I was about to say, I know that Sean specifically hooked me up. He's like, "Hey man, you guys mind putting this out, to your people
Yeah.
about this Black Friday sale?" And I was like, "Sure, I'd be glad to do that." And he's like, "But just so you know, like I can't have Nectar the ITPH jump on top of it. It's
Yeah.
just too much."
yeah. But
Well, they did do.
we get the 30% all day, every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Because there was 30% on top. I got 3 glasses. I did the ITPH code, 30% off, but it was a buy 2 get 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
and
that
those
happen- and that happens
deals
all the time.
Yeah.
Those deals he will allow that to roll through.
Yeah.
Which is badass. And then one that jumped out at me from this past year also that I just thought was hilarious was when I was down in Jacksonville and I ran into the most brilliant prostitute / Lyft driver that I've ever seen, because she quite simply was just like, "So what are you doing?"
But you have to say allegedly, because that's how brilliant she is. Like, there's
Yeah.
there's no proof.
Yeah,
There's not an ad out there saying blowjobs for money.
No, she was a Lyft driver,
Yeah.
but then she asked, where I was going. Oh, you're in town for
Yeah.
such and such.
Want to grab a drink?
And then let's grab a drink.
Let me pull over the car that I'm
But
driving
did she
you
ask
somewhere.
you the all-important question?
Do I have a condom?
Are you a police officer?
No, because she asked me what I do and what I
Yeah.
was doing in town. So she'd
Yeah.
already
Yep.
covered it because
Yeah.
I'm just casually talking with the Lyft driver. And then she
You're not here for the police convention?
And she
All right.
she had the super short. I can't remember if it was a skirt or shorts, but she definitely had her leg up, like showing me her. It was an obvious, like, come on. She was putting it all out there, and then she's like, "Oh, I sure could go for a drink. Let's get a drink." And I'm like,
That is hilarious.
I
If
don't
you'd have
think-
followed through,
Slash genius.
if you'd have followed through, you'd have been that guy that's on, fake taxi, all over porn.
dude, I
Pornhub or
wasn't in
something.
any danger of banging my Lyft driver. I was perfectly confident that this wasn't happening, and I knew as soon as she said, "Let's get a drink," I was like, my spidey sense was going off, like, we really shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
But then it was after that when she started calling me honey and baby and sweetie, and it just kept going and going, and then it was becoming more obvious.
Well, the honey and baby sweetie thing happens a lot of times when females interact with males where they get tips.
That's true, but I could sense that this was different.
The let me stop making money to hang out with you is, that's where the spidey sense really pops off. Like,
and she wanted to get a drink at my hotel.
And at like 4 o'clock or something. It was
Middle of the afternoon. Like, she had a long night ahead of her. I wasn't going to be the last one.
You know, I'm going to be driving this Lyft for another 6 to 8 hours. I need a liquor drink. Wait, what?
Like, quick question. Can you put in any amount of tip for an Uber or a Lyft?
Yes.
Or is it
you
set?
can do just the tip.
I thought.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Well, that's all she
I
wanted,
wasn't going
right?
to put a full tip in.
No, I every time I always see the 3 options. I didn't see.
No, you can do custom.
You can do
can?
custom.
I know Lyft. I don't Uber. Fuck those guys. But you can do custom tip.
can.
And Brendan's the king of it. Because Brendan's not $1 or $2 in somebody.
No, $5 a minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum. And that's if it was $7 ride.
Yeah.
$5 tip.
That's what she said.
Brendan has a huge tip.
I like to show off my tip.
Yeah.
Tip prowess. I mean, this is awkward.
You flaunt it. You got it. You flaunt it.
This room's
This
getting
is
really
awkward.
small.
There was also when we had our resident meathead Seeley on, and he basically just confessed to a murder rap.
Oh
Yeah, that was
hilarious.
awkward.
Now that one he didn't actually confess to a murder rap, but he definitely brought up that he'd been accused of murder, which. Even if you're accused of it, you're doing something wrong.
But it ruined his life for like 2 years.
Actually,
dealing with everything.
Well, imagine how the guy who got killed.
He's still paying the price.
Yeah. It was.
You
That
don't
was
know a
hilarious.
lot of guys who've had that tag to them.
No.
No.
You
shouldn't know a lot of guys. I guess certain people know a whole rack of them.
Yeah, as a rule of thumb, you shouldn't surround yourself with people with murder raps.
Yeah.
But if one slips through the cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing, maybe if you do have one of those, that's one of those things you don't have to tell people.
No, and yet he decides to bring it up.
Yeah. That was a tangent that I didn't expect. It just kind of went. We were talking about Subway.
That
and small,
whole thing, though. Subway
small
robberies.
with
And
Will.
I was having guns pulled on me. That episode went off the rails very quickly. There was guns over Monopoly. There was a robbery in a Subway.
That's why I love this podcast. You never know where it's going to go. The tangents.
It's been a fun year.
It has.
It's been a fun year. It's almost enough to make me want to keep doing it for another year.
You going to let the cat out of the bag?
Are you signing off permanently?
I figure you guys will keep it going.
Yeah.
Well, those guys who did the drink challenge, I think we'll just hand it over to them. They show up every Monday.
Yeah.
Go from there. And then
Sounds
we'll
like a
make
plan.
They're
drinks.
excited.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still got youth on their side.
Yeah.
There we go.
We don't.
That's the plan. Well, I do. Have you seen my pants?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm wearing very youthful pants.
You're always playing soccer.
Was it 12Y?
I assume. Yeah.
No.
This was my Christmas gift. One of them. I think my wife shopped for me entirely in one day at Costco.
Nice.
Because I had all these awesome Costco things. I'm not even complaining. I love
No.
Costco. I would have been happy if it was just free samples under the tree. I'd be like, ooh, pigs in a blanket.
I have started perusing the clothing every time I go in there because you
You
never
have
know what
to.
you're going to get.
Dude, you're going to find $10
You'll be like,
shirts.
this Columbia jacket's $15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have 14 outerwear pieces, but yes, I can't let that go by. You never know what you're going to find there.
I agree, man. I shop for a boatload of my clothes at Costco.
How long have you guys been going into Costco, though? I mean, it's been around for a little while, but do you remember going in there when
Price
you were...
Club? When it was
It was
Price Club?
I didn't
right.
go to any of these places till I was married.
Oh, interesting. Because I remember my dad...
Couldn't afford when I was single, I couldn't afford a membership anywhere. Are you insane?
Well, you always have to have someone else
Yeah.
access
Well, yeah,
to
your
someone
parents or
else's membership.
something.
Yeah, because
That's
when I
too
was
rich
when I
for
was
our
younger,
blood.
my dad had the business membership.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how he got in. And we would go, and I just remember that I'd always hang out in the one aisle trying out all the fucking
TVs?
tree houses.
Tree houses.
Oh.
They'd have the play sets and the tree houses and then have the 4-wheelers.
Now they're 20
and
feet in
car,
the air.
You know.
Yeah. Well,
And then-
keep Stu out of them.
Yeah, Stu ruined it.
Stu was
Yeah.
always up in them.
Yep.
And then you slowly go from that aisle to the electronics aisle, and then you go to the food, and then next thing you know, you're buying the big chief bag of popcorn, and you're out of there.
It's just for me, it's a pretty standard loop. You walk in, you walk up and down each TV aisle, you stare at the TVs and think, why don't I have a TV that big? Which is strange because you do.
Yeah.
And yet you go, ooh.
Look at that one.
Yeah, that one's amazing. So you spend your time there. Then I go over, I do the clothes.
Yeah.
Because I want to look at dress shirts and sweatpants for youth. So that's how I roll.
Yeah.
Youthful, juicy couture.
Yeah.
That's how I roll. And then
They say pink across the back.
and then you go back and look at the meat because there's always like
Yeah.
a dope ass piece of meat you can get for cheap. And that's like
You always got your head on a swivel for the samples too.
I was
Yeah.
just getting ready to say, in between there, you're stopping by for
yeah,
the.
but that's like the standard course I
always
take.
have to give a little looky loo at the watches. They
Ooh,
always
I
got
never
the
look
watches
at it.
right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I never do it though.
I'm a watch guy, but I'm cheap, so it's like, oh, look at that one. No, I'm good.
Never gonna happen.
The one thing I've
I
noticed,
have bought like $100 watch there. That's nice. I mean,
Oh, but that's not horrible though.
No.
It's $100.
I have noticed you go into a Costco, it's one of the few places that has a very huge dedicated section to electric toothbrushes.
yes.
They have.
They always have.
It's
Like Waterpick was built on the back
yeah.
of Costco.
yeah.
We bought the boys electric Sonicare toothbrushes for Christmas.
Yeah,
Or
but
Hanukkah,
you just,
one of
you
the-
just
one of the
mentioned
two.
something that I haven't used. I mean, it was a big thing 20 years
The
ago.
water
the
picks?
water pick.
Oh yeah.
Let's blow your gums out
Yeah.
with a fucking water jet.
My dad had one when we were kids, and all it was just a fucking toy to make a mess. Was all it was.
yeah,
went
the whole
everywhere.
there's
Yeah.
splash all over the
Yeah,
mirror.
just
There's
water everywhere.
which is awesome.
Now, Sam's Club to me is a shithole compared to Costco. So we haven't been a member there in a long time, but they do sell certain. I think they both have a good business model, and they don't. They kind of stay out of each other's way. You'll go to one, and they'll have some stuff, and then you'll go to the other, and they won't have that sort of stuff. Like
Yeah.
they're kind of doing their own thing.
So the one place I haven't been into is a what's the is it Bob's? No,
BJ's.
BJ's.
Yeah.
That's a Price Club
It's a
membership.
low rent Costco.
What's
Yeah.
it like in there? I've never been in there.
I've
It
never
just
been to one
doesn't-
either.
It doesn't have as much stuff. I had a BJ's membership for years because somebody was like door to door at my office, like selling memberships, and like if we like bought multiples, it was like
So
6 months for free, and then only $10 for the rest of the year or something. I was like,
So it was
Yeah, I'll
like
try that.
Costco, Sam's, BJ's, or
I kind of put Sam's and BJ's in the same
realm.
same ballpark because Sam's is really Walmart, right? It's just
Yeah,
an
Sam.
expanded
Yeah, it's-
Walmart.
Directly.
Sam Walton.
Is that really okay? That's what it is.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But the only one that ever had its own. Sorry, I'm just banging stuff around. Was Costco invented it? I mean, the Price Club was.
Yeah. I was surprised, and this is topical to us because we're in the South Side, but I was surprised that they closed the Costco over there off Hull Street and then brought it over here to our side of town when, in my opinion, and I'm no Costco guy, but I would think you'd be able to have two, honestly.
You would think, dude. I'm pretty excited about this beer. I don't mean to like sidetrack us, but I saw something today that I've never seen before. This can't be as good as it should be, but this is Guinness.
This looks
has a
so
new,
weird.
Guinness has a new beer.
Why are they already
it's
have
a
the
s-
best beer.
It's a stout.
It's got a funky can on it.
It's called Over the Moon Milk Stout by Guinness, and it's made in the Baltimore brewery.
Open Gate Brewery, it says.
Yeah, because St. James Gate Brewery is the one in Dublin, and so over
Yeah.
here in Baltimore they called it the Open Gate. But
Why would they put brewed in Baltimore? Like, I feel like that takes a couple points off of it.
No, they're proud of it, man. And in fact,
Baltimore sucks.
I love Baltimore. In fact, I buy the blonde that they make, and it has like the Maryland flag on the box. I love it. I buy it.
The Maryland flag is pretty dope.
So we are trying now the Over the Moon Milk Stout, which they already make the greatest stout in the world.
Yep.
Why in the world are they making another stout?
What are we looking at on the can here? Is this the sun with a cloud underneath its nose?
It's a
looking.
It's the moon.
No, isn't this the moon in the front?
Yeah, the moon's
Yeah.
on the front.
Who's in the back? The sun.
Yep. With the
With a sad face, but like it looks like he's got a cloud mustache. He looks all upset looking at the moon with the beer on his head. Now the moon has a Guinness on its head. Does this look like that?
Nope.
I kind of want to pour this out to see what it looks like. Do you think it looks like a Guinness?
Where's a shot glass?
Oh, this is interesting.
Right there in front of you.
I'm not pouring anything in that shot glass.
I don't have to drink it.
We
Just let
could
me
we
see
could
it.
pour it. It looks like a Guinness.
It pours dark.
Without the head, though, right?
Oh,
Nothing's good without head.
Yeah, it's dark.
This is interesting.
Dude.
I haven't even tasted it yet, but it just looks weird.
You got to try it.
Well, I can tell you just off the bat from the can, you would never know this is a Guinness unless you get.
No, yeah, only when it says Guinness. But I'm very shocked at this beer already. What are they doing making another stout?
It is.
I don't know.
Is it me or is it eerily close to a Guinness?
It's close, but it's not a Guinness.
It's not a Guinness, but it feels like it tastes like it's a one-off of Guinness.
It's definitely got the. It's definitely smooth. The milk smooth is there.
What the fuck have they done? This is a light Guinness.
Yes.
Well, 5.3 on the APV.
What's
so
a
it's
Guinness?
actually got
What's a Guinness APV?
like 4 and change. So this is heavier.
But it tastes lighter
This is sweeter.
because this isn't nitro.
No.
Yes.
And if you have a Guinness stout without nitro, it's a lot more complex than this beer. But on nitro, it smooths all that out, and you don't have to deal with it. This is wild. This is sweeter
Yes.
than a Guinness.
That's the milk, though, right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
lactose.
The lactose in it. This is.
Stu, have you drank this yet?
No, I just had a sip of it.
I guess I kind of want you to go first.
Yeah, because it's going to be quick and painless.
No, I'm just intrigued.
Man, let me take a sip real quick. Hang on.
I didn't expect this out of this beer. Like whatever it is, I'm trying not to bury the lead here, but it's definitely sweet, but not like a sickening sweet. It's just
It tastes like something I had previously.
a Guinness.
Yeah, I was thinking a little bit different, but
This is.
it's definitely coffee.
I taste the lactose in it.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
I'll give you all that.
A Guinness is a 5. We've all determined. That's our ranking.
Well, this is a 4.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and
Yeah.
I'll just start it out, dude. That's a 4. Like that is a really easy drinking stout. Like for people who don't like stouts, this is mad approachable.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the sweetness and the milk stout aspect of it.
I can see drinking this. I can see drinking a Guinness at room temperature. I don't think I could drink this at room temperature.
I wouldn't drink a Guinness at room temperature. That's some nonsense. This beer's fantastic for me. This is a 4. I don't have to say anything else about it. It is sweet. It is tasty. It's mellow. It's much better than that golden, the blonde ale that they make.
Yeah.
The blonde ale's fine. Like I enjoy it, but I buy it on a lark more so than anything.
Yeah.
I never liked the blonde.
This is like borderline Guinnessy. This is every bit as good, if not better, than Left Hand's milk stout, and that's like for me, that's like the next best stout. Guinness has done it again, but I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's what they do is stouts. So I'm giving it a 4. Stu, do you want to go, or Joy, you want to go on that?
I was just going to say I'm really surprised at how good this tastes out of a can.
Without any nitrogen.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, usually, just in general, your glass bottles are going to be top notch, but this is like
They figured the can out. A couple years ago, they figured the can out. There's no metallic taste anymore. They've ironed out the details.
oh, PBR would say, "Hold my beer."
Well, that's just the beer, probably. What do you think?
I'll give it a 3.5. Maybe. Can I get a quarter point there?
You can do
Up
anything
higher?
you want.
I'm gonna go. I can't give it a 4 because it's just not me. But 3.75.
That's what's so weird. It's not even like stout drinkers or people who don't like stout might actually like that.
I mean, it's definitely filling. I can already feel it on my stomach.
Oh,
which
it's
is
not
good.
as light as a Guinness, and people think Guinness is heavy. But
That's the most maddening thing I've ever
it is.
had to, like, I want to strangle people. And to their defense, I used to think that too.
Yeah, and then you
Until
get a
you-
couple in you and go, oh, wait a minute.
Well, I also went to Guinness school and got educated.
Yeah, the calories aren't heavy. The ABV's low. People don't know that.
Yeah.
What do
Well,
you
no,
think
no.
of that, Troy?
Sorry.
Oh, There goes Stu.
Go ahead, Stu.
I need to isolate that.
I was just going to say, yeah, there you go. Get a drop. No, I was just saying, what I was saying was filling is every time I've had anything that was a milk, stout, or along those lines, always tended to be heavy calorie wise. Like, not talking about a Guinness, not a straight up true Guinness.
Yeah.
But like it's filling. Like the milk stouts usually.
But
can
this
be
is
filling.
more. I can tell this is more. I agree with you. It's the sweetness though that makes this so approachable.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 4. Fuck it.
Ooh, I like the marketing kicked it up a notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the blue can. I don't even know what color blue this is. This is not even. It's not petty blue. It's not teal.
It's a very light blue for sure. Being that this is Guinness and brewed in Baltimore, I was kind of expecting failure because other than the Guinness, traditional Guinness, I'm not a big fan of all their other products. I'm really not.
No.
I've always thought you make the best beer, stay in your lane, but I also understand you can't just do that. Like
this is them staying in their lane though.
That's
what's
them
so
like
interesting.
Exactly.
And this is honestly the first time I've ever had it. Like this was my.
And I
genuine
guarantee
reaction.
you this is going to taste even better colder than it actually is.
It can't
now.
be colder. It came out of a Yeti.
Yes.
We're not
chipping
going- we're
ice
not going
off the
there.
top of it.
We're not going there, Brendan.
Oh, we are.
We went there.
No,
This
but
son of a
this is a
bitch.
cold beer. But I could if it was just 10 degrees more cold, that'd be awesome.
Where are you putting that, Troy?
So, I love this beer. I could give this a 4.5.
Oh, nice.
To me, and I've only had one. I'm almost done with this because it's so good.
I just chugged it
Yeah.
basically.
I don't know how I would feel if I had 6 of them in me.
And
But-
I can drink 6 Guinness. I
Yes.
don't know if I could drink
Yeah.
6 of these. Let's find out.
But challenge accepted. Hold my beer. Wait, no, I need to hold it.
I'll hold it.
This is delicious. This is just the right amount of sweet. It's crazy to me that the alcohol is higher than the Guinness. Like, it's over a 5. It could be troublesome. I mean, it's not in the 7-8 range, but you're inching up there. You're not in the light beer category anymore. But I think this is amazing. I would seek this out and I would buy it.
I'm going to buy it. And the thing that breaks my heart is, will I buy it?
Over a Guinness.
That'll
Well,
mess
you
me
will.
up.
You will because it's new.
And because I'm only going to buy 1 6-pack of stout at a time.
Yeah.
Because I don't love stouts. I just get the stout. I thought that was a Gilroy. The moon on there is actually a Gilroy.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
That makes sense.
Oh, Captain just stepped back. Stay back there. Unbelievable.
That's amazing. That's
a deli.
yeah, for sure.
Hands down.
And not that he's here, but I do think Ely would like it.
I want to.
I agree.
I want to send this through the phone to him.
It's funny he's texting us as we're doing this. Like we don't know, like he doesn't know what we're doing. Any thoughts on that?
Sorry, I'm like talking through my shirt. Stu is killing me over here. It's yeah, it is interesting. I questioned if he just totally forgot because he's like texting us. Like, as we're
He's
sitting
group
here.
texting us. What are you guys up to? Like, are you kidding me?
During the podcast.
Like,
What
literally
do we do every
podcasting.
Monday night at 8 o'clock?
Should we read his text on the air?
No.
No.
Keep him
No.
relevant.
You know, I saw a board the other day that gave me the ability to like do phone ins. You might just have to start phoning him in. I mean, the guy does have to travel 45
Yeah.
minutes to and 45 minutes back.
True.
But I don't know how we get him the beer.
Yes.
Considering I buy them like
80% of the time.
right before I
Yeah.
come in. Like I go to lunch and pick up beer. In fact, the truth is 90% of our delis come from Wegmans. If the Wegmans beer distributor guy doesn't have them,
Yeah.
I'm probably not finding them.
Yeah.
Because it's rare that I go, like, obviously I do it. I go out of town, I grab some stuff, I bring it back. But it's like,
But usually you're flying, so you don't
my
do that.
go-to is like, go to Wegmans,
Yeah.
grab the beer.
Yep.
That's a damn good beer.
That's a delicious beer.
Like, I'm all hyped up. It's so good.
Yeah. I'm kind of just
It's-
like the marketing isn't bad, but I feel like it's understated. Like I feel like
It's cool.
Guinness should be on there more prominently.
No, I think they're doing
It's
it the
just
right way,
right.
though.
This is perfect.
It's the it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's
Awesome.
It's awesome flavor wise, but the marketing is like it's undersold. Like it's the one that's going to sneak in You're going to be good with it. You'd be surprised that it actually kills it. They're keeping it low key.
What's the price point on it? About Guinness price?
Don't know. I had the kids with me.
Oh, okay. So you just grabbed it and
You
ran.
know how hard it is to shop with kids with you?
Yeah.
I was shopping for. I had 3 items I needed to get from a Best Buy this past week, and I'm in there in the crush of holiday.
I didn't know.
You know
Last time I rode by the Best Buy, I was like, who goes in there anymore?
me.
You can't just buy it online?
You can, but sometimes there's something about just getting it.
Well, hey, I'm a huge fan of that. But I went to a Best Buy a couple years ago. I was going to buy the wife. She asked for a projector and a screen like to do outdoor movies.
Yeah.
And I went and priced all that shit out, and they had like 4 or 5. They might have had 6 different versions of it. They were all expensive as shit. I went on Amazon, bought everything for less than the projector was going to cost me. I got the projector, the screen, all the hookups, the carrying case. It was like amazing.
Where's it coming from, though?
I don't care.
I'm just saying. I got.
It's still working. We've had it for a couple of years now.
But you know why I still
okay.
think Best Buy is in business? Because most of the things that I buy at Best Buy, I want to touch.
Yes.
I want to hear. I want to
Yeah.
hear those speakers. I want to see that.
But you can
TV,
still go try it and then buy it online, which has got to kill them.
which sucks. But they have price match. So if
okay.
I go
Yeah.
on in the store and go, I have a better deal, they'll go, yeah, you got it. So you don't have to worry about that. That's.
They
And
must
one-
have taken a hit, though, over because they used to
Hell
sell a
yeah.
lot of movies and music and
But
stuff.
they're the only one left.
Yeah.
All the other electronics major ones are gone. Like they've held out, and it's because they've done a good job with the online, and they do that price match in there. That like if I'm standing in the store, it doesn't behoove me to wait 2 days.
Yeah.
because I can get the price and go home.
2 things about Best Buy this year. Well, not this year, but this year at Best Buy, you go in for music, but it was the first year that vinyl outsold CDs because CDs are going out.
That's crazy.
And
You go to Walmart, you can buy vinyl.
You still into vinyl?
fuck yeah,
Are both of y'all into vinyl?
got a big stack of it.
just this week I got Dr. Dre The Chronic. It was I think one of the most missing pieces in my vinyl collection.
Isn't that shit way overpriced, though?
Yeah.
$20 or something?
You know what I
$30
did
a
is-
record?
I did this past week. I was very, very happy about this. And I think I've told you this. I was standing in a local record store this past week.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool story.
Leading up to Christmas. And there was this kid in there, right? This kid's got to be 15 years old. He's got his hair grown out. He's got black fingernails, Like he's going through his goth punk stage. This may
He
stick.
knows it all.
It may not. And his best buddy looks like the high school quarterback. Like clean shaven, he's dressed perfectly in his Vineyard Vine shit, so you've got this punk
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
yeah, and this kid's sitting there and he's scrolling through all the albums. And I had gone in with my daughter to Plan 9 record store, and I was like, I'm gonna buy some vinyl.
Right.
And I walked around the store, and nothing really caught my eye. Because when you see an album you want,
You go for it.
you feel it. You know what I mean? Like you get excited. You go, that's it. That's what I've been looking for. And
Eureka.
You feel that. You feel it come over you. Well, this kid is sitting there, and he goes, no way. Like he's right across from me. He's like, no way. And he's like, Greg, they have the Misfits on vinyl. I've never found the Misfits on vinyl. And he's all pumped, And then he's sitting there and he's like taking a picture of it, and he's texting and
Sliding it under his shirt.
you could just tell that in this moment he's like he wishes he could get this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just lean over and I'm like, kid, you want that? You want that album? And he's like, do I ever? Misfits are my favorite band. And I was like, you got it. It's Christmas Miracle.
There you go.
And he's like,
That's cool, dude.
he's like, what
That's
do you mean?
really
Nice.
cool.
And I go, I'm buying you that album, man.
It's better than tipping a fucking Lyft driver $5 on $7.
Exactly.
Like that actually meant something to that
That's
dude.
what I say. I saw his reaction to
Yeah.
that. I saw him yelling at his buddy.
We should all do more of that.
I saw everything he was going through, and he couldn't get the album. You could already
Right.
tell, but he was
He
so
wasn't putting
excited.
it on for you.
No, he was yelling
Yeah.
at his buddy across the way. And I
He
was
wanted
like,
Craig
Yeah,
to
but
buy it.
he's like, the guy with the rolled up sweatpants is not going to buy me shit.
yeah, I wasn't putting out the vibe.
He's like, hey, Vineyard Vines, come buy me this shit, or have your parents buy it.
Yeah. So I was like, kid, you want that album? He's like, I do. And I was like, well, it's a Christmas Miracle, man. I'm gonna buy you that. And
Nice.
he's like, are you serious, sir? And immediately in that moment, all my joy like got sucked up. Like, sir, fuck, how old do I look right now?
I'm only 10 years older than you.
I should have been like, well, you shouldn't have called me sir then. I hope you get no. But so I'm like, he's like, are you serious right now, sir? I was like, I'm absolutely serious.
I'm going to buy it, come out to the van in the back, and I will take care of you.
Yeah, and I didn't want it to be like weird.
Yeah.
And then as like he's like, man, I can't believe this. He's like, this is amazing. Thank you. And he's walking with me to the cash register, and it was in that moment that it occurred to me, oh fuck, I hope this isn't some like $50, $60 like special edition.
You didn't look at it?
No, because what am I going to go over and start looking at the album with?
I'll split it with you, kid.
Oh, it's $24.99. I had $19.99 in my head. You're humped
because
now,
I
kid.
wanted it to be like a truly spontaneous, and it was like it was in that moment. I was like, I'm not buying an album for myself. I didn't find it, but
So
I
wait,
see
before
the joy.
before you say, what do you think, Troy? Over under?
I don't know what vinyl goes for. I just know it can be. I know like on average it's $20, $30. I think on.
I'll go 15.
It was the low end of 20.
Low end of 20. Okay.
Yeah.
$22.99.
Yeah, somewhere in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was under 25, over 20 when it was all said and done. But he was like walking up with me. He's like, "Are you serious, sir? Like this is awesome." And I was like, "Man, it's a Christmas miracle for you."
Did he like
I'm
ask
excited.
you your name or anything?
He
Like,
did. He goes, "Sir, what's your name?" And I was like, "I'm Brendan, and this is my daughter." And I introduced her.
he said from inside the Pallet House.
Yes.
Oh, and then he
And
took
I
a
said,
selfie and you autographed the Misfits album.
I said, "You're too young to be listening to this trash."
Do you guys put your podcast on vinyl?
Yeah,
We should.
I know some that do.
No doubt. So yeah, I felt awesome. Like I bought this kid the album, and then like they wrapped it up, they put it in the bag, and like the guy hands it to me, and I was like, nah, it's his. And the guy's like, well, no, you just bought it. And he's like, hand it, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's not mine. And the kid grabbed it. He was like, thank you so much. And then I just grabbed my daughter and walked out because I didn't want to like hang out.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be like this total gotcha.
Yeah.
And like gone. That kid was pumped. Though.
That's awesome,
Nice.
man.
But you know who was more pumped? And I didn't really think about it.
Oh, the
Your daughter.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
what I was doing like for her to see.
Yep.
That was truly
That's cool you did that.
It was the best high of the whole thing was listening to her
Yeah.
be like, Dad, that was really cool. Like that was really nice of you. And I was like, yeah, I am pretty cool. Like,
Tell that to your mother.
but that's what you want. You want your kids to be
Yeah.
like see that kind of stuff. And it wasn't even the reason. I honestly just did it because he was excited and I couldn't find the album I wanted and I was feeling Christmassy. I was like, fuck it.
You were out $20 when you walked in there. It
That-
wasn't your 20. It wasn't
Right.
That's precisely it. When
Yeah.
I walked in, there was an album being bought. It just didn't materialize.
Oh, it got bought. It just wasn't for you.
You were
It just
prepared.
turns out
hey,
it wasn't my
yeah.
album.
You were prepared.
And
Yeah,
that's
but that's
probably
when the money's already gone in your mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt because and then it's just like I didn't find Dr. Dre the Chronic, ironically, which is what I was looking for. And then I just started flipping through
of all
used
the
stuff.
albums in your listening room. None of them will compare to that one.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what's really funny about that? I didn't find Dr. Dre the Chronic. My brother-in-law gave me Dr. Dre the Chronic for Christmas
On vinyl?
on vinyl. So like
Nice.
it happened.
Yeah.
Like, the
Full
karmic,
circle.
The karmic effect happened.
That's awesome.
The proper album did make it into my stack.
So in case you listeners don't know, Brendan has, when he says I've got vinyl, and I went old school. My record player is a RCA Magnavox from 1956. It's 8 feet long, got the sliders. It still thumps the house, which is great, but that's a different era.
Yeah.
He's gone with the true early to mid 80s tall speakers
Yeah.
on either end. It's a good setup. So he's known, and we had this conversation earlier about the one thing that's different is vinyl back in the day.
It's thin.
If it stays out in the sun, it warps and it's gone. I think
Yeah.
vinyl today it's so thick you could skip it on the fucking road like a frisbee
that
and then still
Dr.
play
Dre
it.
album is 2 albums. And
Yeah.
Right, it's so pressed together.
because they did, they make it so thick. It's only
Yeah.
3 songs aside now. Yeah, when it first came out, that was just one album.
Oh yeah.
Because they just crammed it in.
Yeah.
And
I never got back into the vinyl thing because when I was 15, my first job was a DJ, and I had 2 turntables and a microphone, and I had boxes of vinyl. And
Yeah.
as I got out of it, I got rid of all the shit. And now I'm like, I can't get back into it because I'm not reinvesting in all that stuff. And really, when I was DJing, I never had like pop music. It was all old school rap, roller skating music.
Did you used to do that thing where you would like put a mark on the album so you would know like
where
this
to drop
is
the
your
needle
sample?
right
No,
there?
you know what's crazy? Like the little bit of mixing I did, I wasn't like scratching and mixing, but I would mix songs together, and I just after running the album so many times, I knew like beat. I could look at where like which ring it was and go, it's about right here, and then I could find it in.
So the headphones are on, and then you'd be like, pot it up, boom.
Yep. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Nice.
And you can speed it up with your hand and slow it down with your hand and get it right on and adjust the pitch out.
Drop it.
Yep, and you just slide the mixer over and mix it right in together.
Something I never had the skills to do. And now, like my record player, the last thing I would do is subject that needle and that motor to that.
Well, I was just getting ready to say that the people say that a vinyl has that original sound where you can kind of hear that little bit of crack from the recording and thing. But these new albums, the new needles, the technology, it's thumping just as. I mean, it sounds
pretty
awesome.
Clear.
Yeah.
So what I do
I need to come listen. I haven't actually listened to anything new on any of the stuff like that. So I need to like check that out.
What I do is I just leave a little lint on the needle.
There you go.
Makes it work.
I just have like a crappy needle, so it just.
Well, when you mix and when you manipulate the records like that, you had special pads that went over the record player.
Oh, so the record would slide, not the motor.
Yeah, the record. So the motor would still be going underneath, and you could grab the record and stop it and move it. Manipulate it one way or the other. But the motor was still spinning underneath. It had enough slick on the backside of that felt pad to not damage the motor.
I always wondered how that worked because I'm like, you're killing the motor, and a lot of them are belt driven. And I'm like, well, how do you fight back against that?
I mean, when I started DJing, the tables we had like. It was $400 a table, and this was in the early 90s. Like, I mean, and now just a standard decent one's about that much. But, like, there's more options now because it's so in vogue. And records used to be cheap, too, and now they've skyrocketed. Like, you used to be able to go buy records for a couple dollars.
I used to buy.
You can still buy bad records for a couple dollars, like the Polka Kings and shit.
A couple of years ago, I went through this whole phase on eBay where I was buying people's garage set of records, like 100 records, and
you don't know what you get.
There's like here's $50 for 100 records. Go through them, figure out the couple of ones that you're like
buying a pack
that's
of
legit.
baseball cards,
and then take the other ones over to Plan 9 and sell them back to them for $1 each.
Yeah,
it's like the original Storage Wars.
Yeah,
is basically what you were doing.
It was.
But my dad had a record player, one of those self-contained ones back when I was a kid, and he had a stack of records, and I used to love he had the one where you set the record on top.
Yep,
and you would pull the lever, and the arm would come up, and it'd come over and drop it down, and the arm would pick up and drop the needle on it.
Automatic record player. Yeah, mine is ghetto.
The pallet house needs a Wurlitzer in the corner with a ton of 45s.
I know Stu. Do you listen? You were listening to yours a lot, but how often do you actually put it on and listen to it?
I mean, in the last 2 days, I've dropped a needle.
Yeah,
yeah, especially during the. I mean, I've been home.
Yeah.
So
it's 23 minutes.
Is that what a side of an album is?
No, that's the flip. You get about 7 songs, maybe 6 or 7. It's 17 minutes to 25 minutes.
Yeah, unless it's a new one though. The new records,
right?
But that's the I do though. I've been going through my records this week and playing, but I'm home, so there is times like when I'm on the road, and then the weekend will come and I'll never touch it. But I have been home, so you asked me at a perfect time because I've actually been going in.
I just tend to put on music or podcasts in my ears while I'm doing laundry, cleaning the kitchen, whatever, making food for the kids, and they're watching YouTube because I don't want to subject them.
See, I absolutely want to subject them.
I will say one last point about the record thing. You have to be an active listener to play records. Because
you got to go over and
take care of it. You want to listen to it. You got to be involved.
Yeah.
I love my phone just as anybody. Bluetooth, do whatever, immediate, but I can just not pay attention to it.
Today I went over to the record player. I was looking at it, and then I just hit start on my phone and Bluetooth into the speakers. It was like, because there are times when you're going to go do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with the record player. But if you actively listening, then there is something to be said for we're going to listen to every song on this.
Well, that's where music was better, 30 years ago when you only had that. You want to hear that album? Your ass is staying in this room.
Yeah, you're going to hear this album.
And
you're going to hear that shitty
and
song.
Here's 5 songs in a row.
And you didn't skip around on records. Like, you just started it and you listened to it all the way through. And they used to put a lot of thought and effort into, like, we're going to lead with this song, and then we're going to do this song. And then, they were telling a story. Now it's like everybody's putting out singles, and you can just, pick and choose, and it's a whole different
it's a different
listening experience.
It's a different world now. And there was something special about records.
Yeah.
And that's why, in fact, I've heard songs. Now that I own the records, I hear songs that I'm like, I never even heard that song before.
So if you're an active listener for a record, because I know I do this, I'll pop a certain record on there, and I will go grab a certain drink. Oh, sometimes there's things I want to do, like you may grab a glass of wine or whatever, but there's certain
it's less likely a beer when I'm listening to records.
You gonna drink a wine?
I'm probably not going to drink wine for records. I'm going to probably drink a scotch or mix a drink when I'm listening to a record. But there's certain I do like a wine. In fact, actually wine's kind of a sore subject in my house right now.
Real quick though, every time I see a record though, I just think of those. What was the Maxwell old commercial? The guy sitting in the leather chair and surrounded by the speakers, blown away. Well, that's what I'm doing now. I make sure I sit in front of my speakers and listen to the damn song.
And that's it. I got giant speakers in there, flanking the record player.
And the problem is your speakers are blowing the wine away.
No. The wine in my house, this is a first world problem if I ever heard
you guys
one.
are wine snobs around here.
My wife likes wine. Like across the board?
A lot?
Yeah, like a lot. And so she drinks a lot of wine. I have discovered some wines because of our trip to Italy. I've discovered some very expensive wines that I like. In particular, there is a kind of wine made out of the Sangiovese grape.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
So, see, obviously. So the Sangiovese grape is a pretty well-known grape. But if it comes from Montepulciano, I think it's called. It's something like that, Montepulciano. If it's grown there in Montepulciano, and it's the Sangiovese grapes, then it's considered a Brunello. This is like the purest of, the Sangiovese grapes.
Same thing as like you can't call it a champagne unless it comes from.
Yeah, the Brunello has to come from this. The
what do they call them if it's not from champagne? It's
sparkling
wine.
Yeah. So.
What kind of stupid rules do we impose on ourselves?
So I know shit. So
if it's not from Kentucky, it's not whiskey. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Is it not? Yeah. Scotch is only from Scotch. Really?
Yeah.
I've had some great scotches from
Where's
Japan.
beer? If it's not from Germany, it's not beer. Come on. What are we doing here?
Yeah, single malt whiskey is Scotch. Don't fuck with me. But I buy these Brunellos now because when we went to Italy, I fell in love with Brunello because when you go to a wine tasting in Italy, they sit you down. Like it's a wine tasting here is kind of churn and burn. Like they set you up, they serve you a bunch of wines, and 20 minutes later, you've had a glass and a half of wine in total, and you're off to the races. In Italy, they're like, sit down, asshole. This is going down. And there'll be like 20 bottles of wine come out. They'll bring out food and pair it, and it takes.
But is it tasting the half ounce they give you here over, like you get 12 half ounces?
Dude, I went to one place.
Or is it full glasses over?
I went to one place. I'm not kidding. They came over. They sat us down. This one took about 2 hours.
Wow.
We sit down. 14 bottles of wine came out.
What?
Each one of them, they corked.
How many people for the 14 bottles?
My wife and I.
What? That's 7 bottles each if you just split it.
Drink them all. But I'm saying they came over, and what they would do is they would pop the cork. They'd take it, they'd put it down, be like, try this. They'd pour you a glass, and they put the wine bottle down. Like, it's yours. Do what you want. You're here for the next couple hours. So, like, we did the tasting, and then we're sitting there, and there's 14 bottles of wine in front of us. Like, that just run the gamut.
So, wait, do they crack the next one when you say you're ready for the next one?
Well, they're cracking them and pouring you a taste. And
Are they charging you for each one of these?
Oh, you're paying through the nose, but you're not paying for all those bottles of wine.
Oh.
Now, I assume at that point they must take them in and serve them at the bar or something.
They just pour them into a vat together?
I doubt it. I'm sure they take the bottle and just start serving it at the bar or something. But we were sitting there and, like, the person left. So, like, we're all alone in the room. My wife and I are looking at each other like, fill it up. Just fill up my glass. I want that one right there. It's amazing. Like, that's a $200 bottle I poured in my glass. Like,
nice.
We're just sitting there just drinking them. Well, it was in one of these sessions where they're just serving us food and we're drinking and having a blast that I absolutely fell in love with Brunello. I was like, Brunello is the finest wine I've ever tasted. Like, they're just good. And every Brunello I had the entire time we were in that area was as good as the last one, if not better. Like, it just was the best. So a couple of months ago, I got an email from one of those Italians. And they're like,
saying you owe us $500.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
shit.
skipping out on the wine.
what did you do?
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Your credit card didn't go through.
No speaking Italiano. No. So everything that we bought that day, every 6 months or so, they'll send me a photocopy of my order sheet. So they're like, just to remind you, this is what you love.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty genius.
Yeah, which is brilliant because then
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, I should do that.
Well, and you might have forgotten after being half in the bag.
You don't
Yeah.
remember that stuff. So when they sent it to me the first time, I was like, this is a brilliant
Yeah.
play. It's literally my handwriting on it. It's a photocopy of my order. They're like, this is what you loved, just so you know.
What if YouPorn did that?
Man, they stayed on.
Oh, God.
Dude.
Delete.
I wish they would, though. Let's be honest.
Until you're ashamed.
Yeah, but every
What
time.
did I watch?
But like, how much
Aw.
do I care about step siblings and all, like,
Dude, what is up with that?
All they want to show me is
Yeah.
family miscreants, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want that.
How
That's a
how did that go?
So yeah, that is a tangent.
From wine to porn.
So,
Anyway, yeah.
Well, never mind.
but so I absolutely fell in love with Brunellos, right? So they send me this email, like last year around Christmas time, and they're like, hey, that Brunello that you absolutely love, that you were willing to pay, because my wife bought one of these.
This is from
bottles.
Italy.
Yeah, one of these bottles was like 140 euros, which is like $200.
Jesus.
My wife is smacked, right? And she's like, I don't care. That's the best wine I've ever had. And I'm like,
I'm not a wine drinker, so please explain to me and all the dummies. Like, I understand there's different liquors and they come in different alcohol contents, and some are more than
it's
other.
like anything else. Honestly, it's like whiskeys. It's like beers. Yeah, they're all the same, but they're not.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with wine. Like,
Season, year.
yeah, and
Time
that's
frame.
the fucked up thing. It changes every year. There's
But
no
you're still not getting a higher alcohol content.
No, you can, but I choose not to. I don't like a high alcohol content wine, like a dessert wine.
So
But
you're still
but
getting what do you
sherry
get?
or a
What do you get? 4 or 5 glasses of wine out of a bottle?
Yeah, we'll call it 4 tall glasses, 5 normal glasses. It's right in there.
So $200 for 5 drinks.
In the moment, it made a lot of sense. We were buying truffle oil. We were
Yeah.
buying all this stuff. Dude, it was exorbitant. It was we were losing our minds. But this was a once in a lifetime trip, and like the whole
Were
point
you in
was,
Tuscany?
I was.
Yeah.
I was. And so we were intentionally
Under the Tuscan sun?
That's what inspired my
Yeah.
whole wife's side of that. I was like, Pearl Jam. She was like, all right, and then we go to Tuscany. I was like, done. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
But I fell
Next
in love
year,
with
we'll
these-
play a different song and go somewhere.
Yeah.
So they send me this email, and they're like, hey, we're having these sales. It's only like 100 euros for this bottle, and you like it. And we're just cleaning out that vintage. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna order.
Well, that's a good gift.
I'm gonna order 2 bottles of this wine because it's half the price.
Yeah.
It's already far too expensive.
Yeah.
But so basically, I take this wine and I've set it over.
But you know it's a home run.
Oh, it's the best home.
Yeah.
Run. And I set it aside. I was like, don't ever touch this wine. Like this wine.
Oh, it's in your house at this point.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
had this wine in our house for a year.
Uh-huh.
And I have it set aside. And I'm like, we don't touch this wine. And it's been understood. This wine is for something that's just a very special
Yeah.
occasion. I don't know what it is.
You're done
but
having kids. You already bought a new house, but you're waiting for the next big thing. That's going to be it.
Something happens,
Yeah.
right? Like whatever that is.
Yeah. You'll know when it happens.
I'll know when it happens. Just
Yeah.
like when I saw that kid with that album, I knew that was his.
Yeah.
I'll know when the moment happens. So the other night, we're sitting there. It's a Friday night. We're sitting on the couch, and my wife's basically like, we're watching TV. We've had a few drinks. The night is over.
And this is a standard night. Like, this is no special.
This is a Friday night.
I was getting ready to ask, where's the bottle now?
We're basically watching.
Don't step on it. I think we're getting there.
We're basically watching, like
House Hunters.
Storage Hunters. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we're not even.
Don't lie. You were on the Disney Plus channel.
Fine. We're watching Willow, for fuck's sake. I don't know. We're not watching anything good. We're not having
You're not even interacting with. You're just.
Dude,
You're just waiting for the night to end.
I'm in sweats.
Yeah.
She's in pajamas. Like, it's over, Johnny.
Yeah.
The night is done. And she's like, I'm going to pop one more bottle of wine and have a glass. And I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. And she's like, cool. She heads in the back. She comes out. She pours me a glass of wine. She puts it on the coffee table. And I'm not thinking anything.
Yeah.
I pick it up. I take one sip. And I mean,
You knew.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, every inch of my mouth and my being was like, ooh,
Yeah.
what is this? I mean, I took one sip and I just put it right back down on the table. And I said, what are we drinking? And she's like, I don't know. I just grabbed an Italian bottle of wine. Because I do
How
have
many bottles of Italian wine do you have?
I have bottles of lesser Italian
But this
wine
is out
all
of
over.
touch. Like, this isn't
This
out
is
on the shelf. Like,
if it's on the shelf, it's over. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's known. But I guess she wasn't thinking.
Random
She grabs-
mistake.
Man, I took one sip. I put it. What is this? Because I don't know. It's a bottle of Italian. I'm
but
like,
how do you, like, grab a bottle and not look at it and, like.
it does. It doesn't scream the Brunello. Like, this is a very understated label.
Uh-huh.
And I just.
But you
no
knew
joke,
immediately.
dude. One.
But she
sip.
didn't pick up on it when she tasted it?
She was like, "It's really good." That's all she said. She goes, "This is really good."
Well, here's all you need to know then. Don't buy that again because you immediately knew.
Yeah, but
So it's not that special.
I appreciate it enough to go, I want it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I took one sip. I said, what is this? Put it down. She goes, this is a bottle of Italian. I walk over, and then just sitting there next to the half-warm damn toaster oven that had just heated up like pizza rolls, just baking next to it.
That's what you were celebrating.
Yeah, pizza rolls.
We're done.
On a Friday night. We never get to. Oh, wait, we do this
I
all
look
the time.
down. I'm like, honey, this is a Brunello. Like, this is the Brunello. She's like, oh, it does taste really good. I'm like, yeah, it does. So, like, I brought it over and I showed it to her, and she's like, oh, my God. She's like, I didn't realize that. And I'm like, I was like, well, what are we doing? Anal?
Yeah.
Like, is this going to be a miracle night? This is the first time for everything.
Two chicks showing up.
Is this
Who's coming through the door? In Fragile.
is this one of two bottles? Is there one left still?
There is one. There
Okay.
is one left. But so then she's like, she has one glass, and she's like, look, I'm really tired. I'm going to bed.
You're like, hell no.
No. So she goes to bed.
Oh, no.
I sat that bitch in front of me. I was going to bed too.
Yeah.
But I was like, under no circumstances is this going to be one of those bottles that sits on the counter till tomorrow and like we drink later in the day.
Okay. Pause. Not a wine guy. Can you not drink it the next day?
You can, but it's never as good.
Okay.
Like it just loses something. And I couldn't afford for this to lose anything.
You can only breathe so much.
It was
Can't you
perfection.
shove the cork back in it and wait till tomorrow?
Technically, you can, if you can put.
This is why I'm not a wine drinker,
if
obviously.
you put argon gas in there, argon is heavier than.
It forces all the oxygen out.
Yes, and it'll sit on top of the
Yeah.
wine, and it will.
I'm a science nerd. I just don't drink wine.
It'll allow you to
Yeah.
do that. So you can go buy like a little thing you do, and then cork.
Don't
it.
they make vacuum sealers too, where you can suck?
They do, but it's just
it doesn't take all the oxygen.
it's just not as good. So I'm sitting here till 2 in the damn
Stu
morning.
could fart in it.
But oh my god, I
was
literally
waiting.
sat there till 2 in the morning drinking wine by myself, just like watching House Hunters.
So what did you pay for it?
It was
$100 a bottle.
which is what 125.
125.
$125.
Now,
$125.
Now it was a steal at the time because, like I said, it was like 200 euros at the place.
I'm all for buying something overpriced if it's on sale. I mean, we live by that motto in our house.
And
so
that
I
was
get
it. They
Yeah.
sent me I'm going to get 2 for
Yeah.
the price of 1. There's got to be 2 more good reasons to drink wine coming in my
Dude,
life.
so
Turns
we're-
out it's House Hunters on a Friday. In
So
my
were you like
sweats.
livid as you're drinking this bottle?
It's too good to be mad.
Do you remember what year the bottle was?
No, I can go. We can go pop it because obviously it doesn't matter. Let's just drink it tonight.
Oh.
No, I
You better hide that second bottle.
oh,
Put it in a safe or something.
it's been discussed. That bottle's not getting
I
touched.
was going to ask, did y'all like, was there drama
Here's-
over it?
Here's not a lot of. It was too good. It's the last thing you want to do is ruin that moment.
Yeah.
By yelling about it. So it's like, we're drinking this. She's
Yeah.
like, but I'm tired. I'm like, then I'm drinking it, and I drank the whole bottle.
And
of
you
wine.
were in trouble for
So there was-
drinking it without her?
Yeah, there's no discussion the next day that the bottle's empty, and she.
Oh, she came down. She's like, you drank it all? I was gave her a look.
Like, you started it.
Like, yeah, I ate all the pizza.
Literally, you started it.
Yeah.
The pizza rolls and the $125 bottle of wine.
And then I did go on their website because I was like, I need to replace it. And they've
Up.
The price is back up.
Yeah.
And now the one that's like 4 years newer is at that price point. So as was their Christmas special.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know that one. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the one. And then I went back and I looked at the photocopy thing they sent me. And on that day, 2 years ago, I was like, that vintage is the greatest I've ever had. So I was feeling it from day one. It's rare you can take one sip of something and know instantly,
Yeah.
this is primo. That's how good that is.
But didn't that just happen with the deli?
It did. But you know what? That's cheap.
Well, and that does, they perfected doing it over and over.
Yeah.
Wine's not like that, right? Like,
you can't
wines aren't the same.
You can perfect it as much as you want to, but you can't grow the same grapes. The grapes can be the same,
And
but
that's the thing.
year to year.
This was the 2011
I don't buy it.
vintage.
I don't buy it.
I'm telling you, you can get a 2011, 2014 because those are
Yeah,
on
but
my
all
mind.
with beer, they come from natural ingredients and they're all different. So how are they making it the exact same, and how do wine shops tell the difference?
Literally, if it rains more, then
But wouldn't hops and barley be the same way?
to a lesser effect because it's just
Because
it's just
it's beer?
the grape.
You
Yeah.
don't get to circle it in a glass and sniff it and talk about how awesome you are.
I would love to get someone come in here and explain it because I won't do
I
it
don't buy it.
justice. But I know that I've had the exact same wine from the exact same place 1 year apart and have wildly different flavor.
But you also have to admit that
I've also
You've
had some
had
that taste
200
exactly the same.
you've had $200 bottles of wine that suck and $10 bottle of wine that's good.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, so
This
long as you
is-
admit to that,
I was doing a wine tasting years ago in Napa Valley
because
which
I
is
feel like a
this-
lot of people put the price point on the taste,
Oh, there's been some
and that's with
famous-
beer and bourbon too. Like
but- yeah.
That's
But price point is arbitrary for the most part.
It's bullshit. It's once enough people go, oh my God, this is the best, you get to raise the price.
Yes. Well, no, we could make a beer here and put in the same price point on it and still might sell out of it because people will see the price point and go, that must be good.
You honestly see it happen fairly often where something gets popular and the price just goes up
Yeah.
because they realize they can command more. I mean, there's nothing
Like
to
beer
it.
skyrocketed a few years ago.
Oh, right now Japanese single malt whiskeys cost more than any of them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because in order to make a single malt whiskey, because Japanese have been making a lot of Scotch, they have to age it, right, to like create a true
Right.
Scotch. So the Japanese single malt whiskey started getting very popular in the last few years, but they didn't know that 20 years ago
Yep.
when they started aging it. So the amount that's there is the amount that's there. But since
Rare.
since the demand went up, the same bottle that just a couple years ago was $20 is now
you
$60.
You can't go back 15 to 20 years to start
Yeah, 'cause
making
you
more.
can't. So you
Right.
just go, you know what? Fuck it. If you're willing to pay that, the price skyrockets.
My boys have gotten into cars lately, and they're like, Dad, do you think there's a car that's $1 million?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, there's cars that are out there for 35, 40, 50 million. They're like, what? And I'm like, they might have made 1,000 of them at the time, and now there's only one or two. And
Yeah.
it's
And as
not
soon
even
as
that
this-
great of a car.
as soon
It's
as
the only
this
one that's
ends,
like it. Yeah.
Put the Mecum auto
Real
washers
quick,
back right there.
what's the single most amount you paid for a shot?
I've never had Pappy Van Winkle, and that
I've had it.
see that. So I've never bought.
Not in
I-
a shot, though. Well, actually,
I would
Yeah,
say
it
the
was that
most I've
shot.
ever paid for a single shot was probably like $25. I'm not a
Me
crazy-
either.
I was just curious because you see some of these that are these good tequilas or
yeah, $50.
yeah, $50 to $80 for a shot, and you're gonna
13 almost 13 years ago, the wife and I were in St. Thomas, and we were sitting around the outdoor bar, and we were like, let's have some tequila. And we're not big tequila drinkers, but so we've been there a couple days, and we were talking to the bartender, And I was like, it was when Patron got hot. And I was like, I've always heard Patron is good and smooth, so let's get that. And the guy was like, man, don't try that. That's so expensive. He's like, I got this one that's like, it's only like $15, $12, $15 for the shot. And I'm like, hold on, it's only 12? Like,
that's
expensive.
Like, I'm like the $5 shot guy. And he gave me another brand, and we tried it, and it was $12 a shot or $15, whatever it was, but it was cheaper than Patron at the time. And I was like, thank God we didn't get the Patron, because, oh, my God. And it was good, but I was like, for one drink, like, not even a drink. Not like you had to mix it and, like, add other shit. Like, you took that bottle and poured it, and ta-da, I owe you $15.
More often than not, I can't really tell the difference between those jumps.
I've had the Pappy. My buddy won it in the lottery. And got
did
the
you
bottle.
think it was the second coming?
Well, so we were hanging out at some buddy's house, and it's like, come in here. I got this bourbon. Let's take a shot. Let's drink it. We didn't shoot it. I think we poured it over ice because you're supposed to sip it. And I was like, what is this? He's like, it's Pappy Van Winkle, whatever year. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
Because of the hype, I'm dying to try it.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I had to. He's like, I got this lottery and I won it. It's really hard to get. It's not. So allegedly, it's not expensive, but it's very delicious.
I enter the lottery every year.
I don't think the bottle. I don't think it's that expensive. They just don't make a lot of it. It's like $50 for the bottle.
But then by the time it hits the bar,
yeah,
it's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah,
but I wasn't blown away by it. I really wasn't.
The cheapest I've ever seen Pappy was $80 a glass.
Wow.
And that's because McCormick's downtown was having a special.
Oh wow!
Because they were like
they were hooking you up.
Yeah, they were hooking me up at 80.
And Brendan's sitting there going, "I see that, but is that Malort right next to it?"
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you $5 for a shot of Malort. Call it a night. We should do shots of Malort.
That's huge. That's huge. You know, people going out and like, this is $200 for a shot. Like,
well, I mean, it's all supply and demand. I mean, and just like I was saying earlier. It's catching
marketing.
It's catching fire now, and it's $5.19 for the Impossible Whopper by a sandwich by itself. I mean, we've talked about this several times, but
that may cost a lot of money to make because you got to kill all those vegetables.
Yeah, before they get to the cow.
I hate when they scream.
Yeah, I still got to try that damn thing. I finally did just have that Popeye's chicken.
Oh, how was it? Well, actually, I know how it was. It was amazing.
It was. Yeah. But I think Popeyes is going back to Popeyes. I think they were playing it up at the front end. Everyone was talking about how the chicken breast is hanging off. It's massive and it's huge. Mine literally fit just fine right inside of the bun.
Was it bigger?
Really?
But was it bigger than a Chick-fil-A?
Thicker. Yeah, it was thicker. But then like
it's more bready and crunchier.
But like 20% of mine was just breading. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't even chicken at one point.
It's like getting a Hooters wing.
I was like, what the fuck is this? And then in true Popeyes fashion, the girl pulled out the bag to put the fries in, and she started like trying to put them in, and like she was having a hard time, and she just threw the bag in my bag and then just dumped the fries on top of the shit, and I was like, yep. There's that Popeyes customer service I'm used to.
Yep.
Who is it that does that, though? There's another restaurant that does that with their fries.
But
that's
Five
Guys.
Five Guys does it on purpose. They're they're like, here's your fries, and here's a bunch more fries.
Yeah.
No, this was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It just dumped.
I don't care.
Handed it to me, and I was like, I think they're going back towards their Popeyes ways.
I don't think they ever left it.
So I got to say something
for a couple months because I get the hype.
I know Troy's the Chick-fil-A guy. I went back and had a Chick-fil-A sandwich just 2 or 3 days after I had the Popeyes for the first time. And either it was a mental trick or whatever, when I actually looked at the sandwich, it seemed bigger.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was like, well, actually, this chicken breast is
good.
Not far off from the...
I'm not talking about taste. I'm just talking about, like, the size. Because I was really impressed with the size of the
Oh, and
Popeyes.
I'll admit, when I bit into the Popeyes, that chicken was better.
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
No, I'm not a Chick-fil-A guy. Since I had Popeyes a couple weeks ago, I have Chick-fil-A once every 2 months. Like, I don't eat Chick-fil-A all the time, but I appreciate that when I go there, I'm going to get good service.
Yes.
They're going to be cordial. I'm going to get in and out. Like, that, to me, that's what I'm going there for. Not so much the quality of the food. It's still...
I tried to bring the kids there the other day. I said, let's go to Popeyes. And they were like, I don't want Popeyes.
See, this is
and then they were like, oh, Chick-fil-A, cool.
Yeah.
This is the best marketing
bullshit.
ever. Because it just... What we're talking about right now has just exploded. Chick-fil-A went back, Popeyes went back. They're going back and forth, and the money's coming through.
Everyone's getting paid.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting paid. The only difference is now Popeyes is on the
probably owned by the same corporation.
I could see that. They just joined forces at the top.
Some guy with a monopoly monocles just counting money up top.
Because actually, now we have the Popeyes and the Chick-fil-A, and if you want to, you can do the Impossible Whopper versus Dunkin' Donuts sausage biscuit.
Well, they have Impossible sausage biscuit?
Yeah,
I hadn't heard that.
They do. Everyone's got something. It's all coming out. I knew that the tides had turned when
we have a plant shortage.
Our resident meathead Seeley told me that now he's eating vegetable protein.
I cannot believe this.
He said 75% of his meat he's cut out of his diet because it's better protein coming from vegetables. It's cleaner. He's thinking better. He watched one documentary. I'm not even kidding. He literally watched one documentary, and he changed.
They weren't biased,
everything.
were they?
It was the most biased thing, I'm certain. And he just changed it all. He's like, I'm out.
Calling it a documentary is a loose term, though.
Yes.
Well, you've actually seen it, right? Since then.
But it's
an infomercial.
It's an op-ed piece. Somebody made an opinion. It was a good presentation.
Yeah, most good presentations should sway you in one direction.
Yep.
But that dude, he shifted gears entirely, and chickens everywhere are rejoicing.
I think I was I might have told Troy, but the scary thing is that all the big major food companies are starting to invest in the vegan and the Impossible stuff.
Well, because they have to, dude. It's unsustainable.
They know the suckers are going to eat this shit up. Like, do it.
But the amount of meat we harvest and grow, it's difficult. It's hard on the environment.
So it's taking all the vegetables and plants out.
Oh, 100%. I'm just saying we're shifting. Yeah. We're just trying to.
It's not even going to be shifting to the plants. It's just they're going to grow the proteins.
That's the other thing. They're going to start making meat in labs, and I
not the meat. They're going to start growing the proteins to do the Impossible, like to grow those plant proteins that we're making burgers out of that are Impossible.
Oh, you don't even have to grow the whole plant?
Right. They're just going to grow the proteins. They'll make the burgers. They'll feed the world. But then what ends up happening is if you go the other route, the entire ecosystem that's based around the cattle industry, beef, everything. There's a legitimate reason that we have a meat industry. And if you take that out of the equation and you add all the proteins, there's a big imbalance.
There's no free lunches in nature. You fuck with one thing, something else pays the price. Like
that's literally the truth.
You get rid of all the cows and chickens, there will be a fucking.
That's why I'm always nervous. They're like, we can eradicate mosquitoes. We've come up with all the. And I'm like, I'm all in, but at what cost? Like, what is going to start dropping out of the sky?
The songbirds.
When you
bats,
can tell me you're smarter than Mother Nature, then
but I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it.
Oh, I'll be dead before that.
The world's pretty good at taking care of itself. Like
Happy
the world.
New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. See you in 2021.
Yeah, when we're all like, we need more meat.
Well, according to some people, I guess we're down to 11 years until it's over. Because we got the 12-year, heads up in 2019. So,
it's shutting down.
Not like we've never heard the world's about to end. Oh, wait, we've heard that a gajillion times.
That's about right.
So,
that's about right. Well, hey, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you guys have a good 2020. I hope it was a good New Year, and I hope you guys have a fantastic year. It was a good 2019. Thank you all so much for your support. All those new listeners that have jumped in, thank you guys for jumping on board.
We're heading down to start year 5 here in a minute.
Oh,
yeah, we'll be officially 5 years total in April.
Oh, 5 years total? We have completed 5 years?
That was the 1 year anniversary. So this would be
and those extra listeners for the last month, this was my first month. So,
are you at 1 year?
No, it could have been me being on it for this month. Could have been
it's Stu.
I jumped up.
It's Stu. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Stu. Happy New Year to you. Glad to have you on board. If you haven't had a chance to send us topics, please do so at InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com.
We love it.
Reach out to our Facebook page, or you can always find us at ITPH Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Of course, if you feel like Venmoing us some money, it's at Inside the Pallet House. Is that right? Or just
That's right. Inside the Pallet House.
At Inside the Pallet House on Venmo. You send us a couple bucks. We'll send you over the best of year 1. So
4 hours.
4 and a half.
Yeah, we had a good jump there, and it's kind of slowed down, and we really could use the support because this thing costs a lot.
Love it. Hey, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you again soon. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?